Hi everyone, and welcome to the quick guide on how to get set up on Mech Manager. So you'll have to click on create an account down here. It'll take you through the normal verification process, send you an email, click to verify, all that kind of stuff. But we're just going to log in to our test account here, and I'm going to take you through the process of how to get started. Now we're going to land on the main production dashboard here. If you've created a new account, you'll get a pop-up just saying your 30-day free trial started, giving you a breakdown of what's included, and that means that you can use the software for 30 days, and then at the end of that it will then lock your account. You'll still be able to use the account tab at the top here to manage your subscription. Any data you did create will be saved, so you don't have to worry about losing all your data. You can come back a week, a month, however long you want, and then when you subscribe, everything will still be there just as you left it. So here, although it brings you onto the production dashboard by default, you won't be able to do a lot here. You might instinctively want to click add new job, but you won't have any jobs, no machines or anything set up. So before you can do anything, you need to set up your production environment, which, depending on what kind of company you are, it could be a CNC company, a laser cutters, or even a textiles company. It doesn't matter, you can use this for anything really. So we're going to go up to the manage at the top here, and then first thing we'll set up is a machine. So you click on the machines, and here we go. So it is simply a text field here, what time the machine starts, so 8 AM, and what time it ends. You can click on the clock and use the wheel if you want, but we'll finish at 5 PM. And then you add the machine, and there you go. So once you've added a few machines, there are filter options here. If you're looking through, you can edit and change parts of the machine, save your changes, delete machines, so on. So now we're going to add a material. So we're just going to say that this is billet aluminium. We get it from someone, and the unit, these are just generic units. I might fine tune these depending on what people want. Pieces, add material. Now we have a material. Next, customers. So this is just who's who the jobs are that you're doing stuff for. 1, 2, 3, add customer. Now you got your customer, again same stuff. You can sort, edit, change details, and so on. Now once you've got the back end sorted, you can then start to add jobs. So the principle is that you add a job in here, you assign the customer that job's for, you select the material that it uses. Now the cycle time per part. So once you're running, how long does it take to make one of the parts? 10 minutes. And then the setup time to get to the point, so you're doing your tooling or setting up your dies or your fabrics, whatever it is you're doing. So if in this case we're going to have 2 hours there, and then we add this job, so all that data will be allocated to that specific job, and then once we now go back to the dashboard, we'll have a job available to add. So we can add parts, it'll automatically assign the material, what machine is it going on, CNC mill, how much material do we need. So if we're going to make 10 of them, in this case we need 10 pieces of billet. Sales order number, job quantity is 10. When's the deadline? So the reason we're setting the deadline specifically is because of the way the back end of this software works, which I'll show you. So we're going to set that to the 23rd priority. This is just a little color icon that will tell you which jobs are in which priority. Create job. So this job will then get added to the queue here, and it will give you a basic rundown of the job on the front, and then you can open the job card up and it'll give you more detail. You can change priority, and a few other tick boxes down here. So if I just stack up a few jobs here, I'll show you the smart part of this software. Quantity, we'll do 20 on that one. 1, 2, 3 again, 20. We'll set the date for the 23rd again. Low priority, create job. We're now up to the 22nd, so let's now make another one, and this time we're going to do 30 parts. 1, 2, 3, 30, deadline for the 23rd. So the whole reason I created this software, it's still not exceeded, we've got to add one more, is because I found a lot of softwares didn't calculate the delivery date. All I wanted was like live vision of how the software, of how the production line was performing. Here we go. So what this is doing is it's taking your cycle times, your setup times by the quantity of the job, and it's stacking them up, so it'll give you a predicted delivery date for each of these. So as you can see, it's thinking it's 4 hours production time, so you'll get that done on the 21st, which is today's date. This one will be done on the 22nd, 23rd, and then once it exceeds, the delivery date exceeds the deadline, it will highlight it red, and it will highlight it red here. So when you've got 30, 40 jobs stacked up on a machine with all different delivery dates, cycle times and that, it will give you a heads up that you're going to be running late on these later jobs. And the other trick part is, we've got this bigger job here for 40, you think, it'd be nice to cash in on that one, this little 10 one doesn't matter. You just click and drag to the top, and it will automatically recalculate delivery and tell you that this one's now going to run on time, but unfortunately this 30 job at the bottom is now going to be late. So that will give a bit of insight into the machines. This can all be tailored, so you have a machine efficiency at the top. Obviously you'll have multiple machines down here. This applies globally to all the machines, and depending on, you're not going to start the machine bang on 8 o'clock in the morning, you're probably not going to finish bang on 5 o'clock. You've got tea breaks, you've got weekends, so you can change this slider, and you can now see, now I've dropped it, the second job is now going to be late as well, whereas if we're running a bit better, it moves it back down. Other factors in here, as the job is moving on, say you go over for a weekend, you get in on Monday, have your production meeting, the job's halfway through, put it here, it'll adjust your time. Now we're running on time again at the bottom here. The other two things you can do, if you've got a bar fed job or a robot operated machine, you can run 24 hours, and you can also take the setup off. If you've got 2 jobs in a row, like all these jobs are the same, remove the setup on all of them. You've only got to do the setup once. So there's a few bits you can tweak in there to help kind of plan around it. At the top we have some overview parts. It'll just tell you your total jobs, any jobs that are going to run late, inactive machines, and any jobs that have been marked as high priority. So when you change your priority over here, it will change the icon to yellow. It just needs refreshing. There we go. So it will list the part as yellow, green is low priority, and so on. Once the job is completed, if you slide the marker all the way across, let's open this one over here actually. If you slide the marker all the way across to completed, a button pops up here, the job's completed. It will then not add the machine time to the predicted dates. You can see that this was completed, but the date below is now the 21st, so it's captured that date and it won't add that into the rest of them. You can then archive the job, and this will add it to the bottom for like historical reference. It will save what the original deadline was when it was delivered, and that removes it from the queue, just in case you need to refer to them back. And if you've accidentally archived a job, you can just restore it and it will jump it back in the queue. You can edit it again and set it back up on the machine. If you do have multiple machines on here, you can just click and drag across to the other machines as well. So it's pretty intuitive in that sense. 2 different views, neutral, seems very bright coming from the Motormeld one, but this is just a bit more of a a neutral looking one, whereas the Motormeld is in with the company's color branding. On the account side of things, you have the usual. You can manage your subscription. This is done through Stripe, so it will redirect you to Stripe, where you can then set up car payments, billing address and all things like that, and then your normal, change your company name, change your password and so on. So it's pretty simple software, but as I found, this intelligent back end giving you the predicted delivery dates just didn't seem to exist in the market in this form. Not everybody wants a super complicated ERP system where they've got to manage sales orders and purchase orders and all sorts of things like this. So I thought this is basically one step up from those people that like to just plan on like a whiteboard or a digital whiteboard, or an Excel sheet. It just gives a bit more purpose, a bit more intelligence, and hopefully helps you run a bit more efficiently as well. So thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, get onto the Facebook development page. If you go onto the website motormeld.co.uk, there is a Mech Manager page on there, and it will have the links to the app for you to be able to sign up. It'll also have a link to the development page, which is a Facebook group. I'll list any updates in there, any issues you have, just make a post on there. Any improvements you would like, I'm very active on this, so if you say you'd like some extra buttons or information, or you'd like, say, hovering over this if it told you what machines the jobs were on, something like that, I can crack on and get that stuff put in for you. So yeah, be sure to check it out, and I hope to catch you soon.